and there's so much room on that leaderboard to make some moves. If you can get a win here on Rondo, if you're in the middle towards, even the middle bottom of that pack, you put yourself right back into contention.
Every time we think, okay, there's going to be some distance that starts to happen on this leaderboard, curveball happens. Guys in first, second, third drop out, and then we get to see third, fourth, fifth, sixth just start trying to creep back in, and it's just back and forth all over the place. And this map is known for being a little bit crazy in and of itself sometimes. We get that centered situation going on. Most teams seem like they go, okay, play around center meta, what we're looking at with circles, but then all of a sudden it just jukes a different direction and everybody's just chasing after it.
Well, this has been one of my favorite maps at this event just because of the way teams are now approaching this map. I know, I can't imagine myself saying that until like this event where because of the way that teams have now started to understand this map, where it's like, if there's compounds in the circle, especially if they're center circle that you're talking about, you either have to crash them or try to avoid them and then crash other dips or other spots. So that's what has made it exciting, is teams have to make moves, they have to make gambles, and I think it shouldn't change too much here today, given the situation on the leaderboard, given what we're looking at. If we get something like that, there are parts of the map that are definitely a little more, we'll call it fair, in terms of playing a little bit more traditional style, but I think teams are really starting to make use of some of this extra utility that's come into the game, like the BRDM, like the C4s, and that can open up some space on this map.
This has got to be a stretch. No, it is not a stretch. We've got a stack of people all right inside of Ulin right off the go. Gen.G even looks like they're turning around a bit, seeing the fact that they might be able to jump in. It's going to be Petrichor Road, T1 on top of each other. Ian already found one. Another member down for Petrichor Road. T1 knowing the fact that they've got to get the steamroll going early, and they are finding it. Petrichor Road in a ton of trouble and already out.
That's huge. T1, one of those teams that could have a big game, and all of a sudden their destiny could be changed here at EWC, and they win a clean fight against Petrichor Road for Ulin.
And get center for it too. That is big.
Somebody go show me Sonic right now. I want to see if he's happy or if he's just normal kind of pouty face Sonic. Like
Sonic has more than one emotion?
Typically, no, but I was talking to him earlier today, and I'm like, man, you look kind of angry. He's like, I'm not angry. Like, you look like it. Anyway.
We were sitting around with him. I mean, I've never met a man that gives off disappointed dad vibes as much as he's just like,
he's still going to be like, you could have done that better.
Could have done that better. Did you see how much damage you took off of that? Oh, nice couple of peeks around coming from Bean. Rock in some interesting situation. Ooh, look at this. We got ourselves some friends here.
Oh my God. I mean, just insane starts. I mean, Gen.G has been fragging today. Every time somebody's taken a fight to them, they've at least given better than they've taken. So that's quite impressive for them. I mean, a team that's been relatively quiet, that a lot of people were looking at as kind of a team that's just looking to try to play safe and deep into games, and when people have taken it to them, they've fought back. They fight back so well, and that's a huge disappointment for Rock.
Yeah, Rock, it felt like they had everything under their control, and then it's just gotten a bit dicey, and they're not out of it. I mean, it's just 4 points, really back up into first, but now they have to watch this game a lot more passive, and that's not been their play style so far. So, well, this event anyway, and now it's going to be, I don't know, this is where the test of the mental comes in. We've had the test of better play, increasing the meta, getting their gun under control. Now the mental test for Rock begins.
No doubt. I'm being told that Lando Norris is in the audience today.
Oh, hey, buddy.
So I think they told me who that was. I'm not going to lie, I am not an F1 fan.
Oh, I am.
So that's all. I know a lot of you guys are, like Poro and the Toffees, like you guys always talk about this stuff. I don't watch it. So
I love me some Drive to Survive. Let's
sick.
go.
Cool. I'm happy for you.
I mean, it's interesting because whenever we look at the earlier sections of PUBG, we did use like F1 and NASCAR, and the way that the ruling systems work in that, using the laps and the point systems for that for their power rankings,
right,
to try to establish how we handle dealing with 16 teams up and active at a time. So kind of fun to see it all come full circle.
It is. I mean, I've always thought about PUBG more as like a race. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like a motorsport, or like golf, something like that, where it's more about consistency over time, you know, playing through many rounds of whatever it is that you're doing. And so I think that's a great analogy. Love to see the support as GSW just kind of checking out.
That's not Lando.
No. Sad.
Just making jokes.
Yeah. But GSW just chilling. Twisted Mind sending out a couple players early. Navi as well out of test track, making their rotations in towards the center of this circle. Gen.G going with essentially a 2-2 split, more of a 2-1-1 now, whereas T1's just going to try to lock down the edges of Ulin and, you know, hope that they can keep a team out of there until they get a better read on where the next circle's going to go, or where the next couple of circles are going to go, to be honest.
I'm just making a quick joke. It's interesting that we do get Lando, you know, on the map that has test track.
Lando on Rondo.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's focus in on what we've got going on right now. Falcons, they're going to be crossing over the fields with some open territory that's going to be in front of them. T1, after that fight in Ulin, going to be centered up. Gen.G just to the south of them. Rock on that damage control is going to have VP very close to them. That's going to make it a bit scarier. VP on a nice kind of 2-2, but it's a bit separated out. They've got high ground, low ground control on multiple places. Rock, are you going to be taking some shots at VP in rotate just so that way they can kind of secure a bit safer in position? They want to make sure that nobody comes after them. Since they're already so weak, they need to get territory in control, but VP isn't relenting.
The problem for Rock is if somebody figures out that this is Rock and there's only 2 players, they might try to be a little bit more aggressive on them, you know, try to make that extra angle wrap onto them or something like that. And especially with, you know, the way VP likes to play this map with the glider up in the air early, you might get some pretty good info. You have to be so careful now as Rock. I mean, it is so precarious at the top of this leaderboard. A 0-point game here, and all of a sudden you're probably looking at 1, 2, maybe 3 teams bypassing you in the standings, and that would just be heartbreaking.
This is harsh. Okay, so Corexi is up. He's got the glider. He's looking down into Rock's position. Remember, they are weakened. So if he spots out more and more information, VP can get more aggressive in this, realizing the fact that, okay, I've only seen 2. This could be Rock. So a lot of information having to be gathered. Up in the north, pretty quiet so far, as we do have the Expendables, T5, 17, and Toyo all need to make pathing inside the circle, but it's all quiet pretty much everywhere else. It's just control every other section of the map right now except for right here. And can Rock maintain it? Because more and more is being lost as VP, using that information, starting to come in a bit hotter and a bit heavier.
Yeah, love this from VP. They're starting to get a read. Like, at worst, this is a 2-2 split, right? Like, and that's what you're seeing right now. So you can be quite a bit more aggressive towards Rock. Get some more safety for yourselves in case there's another team coming behind you or something like that, even though you do have the safety of that glider to watch your flanks. But they're charging, dude. Look at Rux and Beamy. Yep.
They've got the momentum, and they are just chasing after it. BL is a bit isolated right now. Can't see too much support coming up from the other side of it from Souls. There could be a crossfire situation depending on how the lines come in. Can Souls get there in time to provide some type of cover? Because remember, these are the oil derricks. They're entirely round. There's not a lot of cover to be had here. Corexi's still just trying to survey the horizon, see what he can get over for his teammates, and feeding it over. Lucarux, Beamy still on the charge. BL, can you hold this?
Oh, he's got Nixie coming from behind as well. This is so well thought out here by VP. The real concern is Souls' angle. Here come the grenades, though, right towards BL. That's going to force the rotation right into Nixie's open arms.
Easy pickup, and Rock in more trouble. If anything, losing that point over to VP is massive. The charge comes out. They know where the last one's up. Soul's going to be running for the hillside. VP on the chase. Let's listen in.
So, blow it up, blow it up. We fucking kill him. Don't close the glider, Corexi, just fuck.
Pop both cars. I need to go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see him. You want me to take the chip next?
He's gonna blow up on blue. Can you shoot? He's
No, I don't see.
I
can
take him behind and go.
Help Corexi, please.
Stop on me. Should be fine.
I don't see him. I mean, I'm sprinting.
I see him now. I'm fucking shooting him.
W2. We can get third party, boys. Where is he?
He's in green compound.
That's fine. Where's all
He's gonna explode.
Still driving.
I'll pick me up.
Still driving. He's didn't fall compounds. He's still driving. We can kill him. Just knock it and
Can you take off with the glider?
He's on orange. Wait. He's on orange. Still driving.
Take off with the fucking glider.
Still driving. I'm shooting his car. He exploded on exactly orange. He's full up and running. He's like running towards Hungshan.
You guys gonna kill him?
Orange rock.
I'm gonna work towards the zone. You guys kill him as stray.
Orange rock running in Hungshan. I don't think we can. I mean, we could. I need
Just do it if you can. If you can, no, we don't do it.
He was on orange. He's running south. Beamy.
Might be too late. I can spot him so bad. He's still running. He's close to Hungsang now.
Yeah, he made it in.
Yeah,
It's
he
okay, it's
made
okay. Can we
okay.
get info on green?
I need
Dark
to
side?
move
go
now.
back.
I have 0 bullets on both guns.
Okay, do you want to swap? I can drive.
Yeah.
Just
Did
land
you
the
take,
green.
did you take the chip?
No, I didn't.
Do you take
we
my
don't have
car?
a
No. I'm gonna take chip. I need the bullets as
Land
well.
the green, dark side.
Yeah.
Throw it.
Oh, there is like one.
Pop in 12.
Sold barely sneaking away from that one, and VP wanted it so bad. That one kill is going to be enough to get some distance, but I don't think that Sold's managed to pick up any of the blue chips. He's in a position that has a tower here. Maybe he did get at least one, but no, he's not even really eyeing the tower. Circle pops, and it does favor Falcons, the Expendables, and AGAL's positioning.
Wow, very hard shifted to the west already. So a lot of those teams that took those early center positions are going to be looking to make new homes. As you can see, T1 still going to hold down Ulin, just a little bit more western focus. TE aggressive towards the center. Falcons already over here. AGL already over here. VP making an early rotate ahead of CTG. Falcons going to have that glider up, a new little kind of twist that they want to throw into this map that we're seeing more and more often with a lot of teams that want to be info heavy here in the early part of the game to make sure that these rotations are safe. And he ended in trouble.
Quick, easy point coming up for Nazi right now. That creeps him up. We're just going to keep seeing that leaderboard shift back and forth every single time a kill pops over. So 68, 66, 65, 64, 62, and then finally a break point where we have 17 and Gen.G presently tied.
Yeah, that's a rough spot to be in there as a solo. You don't have any help because of the tree cover from the rest of your team down in Ulin. So Navi there getting a good read on the situation. Now the real question is how much more aggressive do they want to be down this hill? Maybe they feel like they can just kind of gatekeep T1 a little bit now, just kind of expand their zone of control here to make sure that T1 isn't going to push up to try to go and grab this chip and get the res, because there is a res station in Ulin proper. So that could be a thought that's going through T1's minds for sure. DNF on the northern edge here had to make a bit of a wrap, but there wasn't too many teams up in their vicinity. And so they're going to be able to find a little bit of extra real estate up here somewhere, just kind of driving to see exactly how far they can go.
Yeah, below them is going to be AGAL running a 2-2 split, so not applying too much pressure. Salutes very close, but nothing scary yet. There is EMPs on both sides of the Freaks, so they're kind of contained over here for now. T5 also going to be rotating, but there's going to be a hillside in between them. So Freaks pretty much just focused on position inside of the circle. Long wraps coming up from 17 way down to the south. Twisted also does need to get into the circle, and they're going to be pretty close to Gen.G and maybe T1, but remember T1 has friends in Navi right now, so Salute spots out Tycon and just makes it look easy.
Dude, he has been
Oh,
on.
the push! Look at that, instantly!
Oh, tough situation here for Destroy. Human has the Panzer. Makes quick work of that, even though he got a knock on to heaven. DNF has Salute up on the high ground to cover him with that Mark 12. And this res looks doable to me. I don't see anybody angling towards this fight. T5 could have been in the direction, but they keep going towards the Falcons, so this is all well for the Freaks.
Freaks feeling good that Toyo is the closest team. They don't want to get involved in anything right now. Just got to get the res up. Twisted has themselves a toy. This is going to be interesting to see how they navigate it. Luckily, they do have this moving into the field hillside that's going to be a bit further into the west, but Gen.G could have to deal with a very aggressive Twisted Minds rolling right up in their face.
Yeah, Silu there just trying to edge up over the hill. Doesn't want to take too much damage in the BRDM, as he wants to make sure that he gets the safe amount of information, knows that Gen.G is there, and just drives right back underneath the safety of that hill. As we take a look at our next circle, where are we going to go? Still a little bit of water down in the south. Is that going to get removed now or not? Yeah, mostly. Just going to center up right on top of the Expendables there, still keeping a good chunk of Ulin in. Falcons sitting pretty if they can hold their flanks.
There's a no man's land right in the middle of this circle that is going to be very hard for these teams to deal with. VP, TE feeling pretty good about it for the time being. Toyo still needs to get inside the circle. GSW going to be back behind them. T5 over into the west. You can see Fluky way down to the south as well, trying to dance around where we've got Change the Game. 17 Gaming also still roaming around the circle, cannot find an easy path. And remember, this is way more open than a lot of these teams are feeling comfortable with. That's why we haven't seen Twisted really make an approach yet either.
Yeah. I think, not sure if GSW went for the res there or not.
That is a sick paint.
That is really good. Wow, wow. Holy cow, it's the Ninja Turtles. as well. Wowzers, that is very impressive. All right, so a little bit of cover here for Na'Vi. The Expendables, this is a tough compound to kind of lock down. You can see they're having to spread out a little bit. There isn't a ton of cover to work with in some ways inside of there. Look at GSW's coach.
It's interesting that they called the Doritos at this phase. I mean, yeah, they are pretty centered, so it looks like they're trying to set up, build themselves a nest. Freaks are going to have to deal with Toyo pretty close to them now as they were rotating away. Crossfire could be set up. Binya is very far to the north, but Binya could have his own problems in just a second with GSWCC. Falcons also encroached in a bit closer to AGAL, so that could be a distraction. This is a very quiet circle for really how many teams are stacked up right next to each other.
I think T1's going for a res as well. Here comes some mortars out from the Expendables. Na'Vi, so dangerous in this spot. You know, if a team comes up over that hill, up to your north, you're potentially in trouble. They know it because they were the ones who originally knocked E-End out of there. And that's going to be damage done to those people. Oh my God.
Oh, extends.
I thought that one was maybe going to be good. Woo.
That was super close. So, salute. He found a bit of an angle to work with there. Scared him a bit, but not enough to get the knock. T5 roaming down in the south right now. Na'Vi, yes, being centered up feels good, but also feels bad. Double-edged sword as there is nowhere to go. Toyo feeling pretty similar up into the north. They can't really find a path to get in. Freaks aware of the fact that they've got momentum. There is a chance that they could walk away with the top and get everything from the CWC prize pool, but it is going to be a problem. They've got a ton of teams next to him trying to get out. Salute is going to get knocked. It is going to be Himas that gets the knock onto him. AJAL holding the line for now. The Falcons hear it. Looks like they might be maneuvering to get a bit closer.
Yeah, that was a hell of a crossfire that Salute had to drive through. Not having that tire as well makes it a lot harder to pick up speed, so that's going to be Himas claiming that point, getting a little bit of revenge onto the Freaks. They've got to worry about Toyo on their flanks. Venya out in the blue, trying to get shot at. Freaks are hemorrhaging players. Heaven going to go down to Emmy. Things starting to crumble here for the team at the top of the leaderboard.
It's just been how everything is working around that right now. You get to the top of the leaderboard and then everybody comes gunning after you. Toyo wants more. Back behind it, New Circle pops, stays pretty centered just a bit to the south. That does mean the death funnel is up in the north, where we're going to have Falcons, AGAL, Freaks, Toyo, T1, Twisted, and GSW all on top of each other having to go. And Freaks, can you defend? Mortars even raining down now.
Oh, raining here from T1 getting involved, bailing out potentially Human. He's down to 5 HP though. Needs to try to find a way, cannot. It's actually going to be H-Win from Falcons. They're going to be very happy there to take out the top team in the lobby. 4 kills though for the Freaks in this one, despite kind of a rough situation. Able to get something out of this game at the very least, and now the Falcons have kind of positioned themselves to try to set up a little bit of a barrier potentially, but looks like they're going to peel off. They don't like what they see. There's still a ton of teams up here in the north.
They need points right now. There's a ton to be had there, but at the same time, this is a really open circle, so there's no real options. Falcons were stretching out a bit more. Up around Ulin, you can see the firefight's still going to be continuing. GSW on the chase right after Twisted. But Tulins has turned back around to see if maybe he can defend in, keep Perfectix up, but Perfectix is in a bit of an odd spot. Going to be hard to hit the nade. You're going to have to cook that one perfectly, and CC does.
Oh, yeah. A wily veteran there. CC knows the timing on those grenades to a T. Nails that. Now some work here to do for GSW, though. Twisted starting to really clamp down on this fight. Trying to see if they can ruin GSW's round, give themselves some kill points, get even closer to the Freaks in that leaderboard. Navi's going to be chilling right now at the bottom of that hill still. Not really much room for them to move. Able to avoid much damage from the Expendables mortar other than losing a little bit of vehicles, but Twisted now going to leave just example here on his own, and they're going to set up for some long-range cover.
Walks right into the wrong sight line. Example picks it up easy. Can he pick up more using this opportunity? Leapfrog ahead. Toyo's just going to be sending it down. They're going to be pretty close to Na'Vi. You can see that pop off in a second. Yep. Ferris is going to spot out. Falcons also making send of their own. Death Funnel up into the north has to make moves, and there is nowhere to go. Falcons use the opportunity that Toyo's provided, and that was pretty much just a meat shield right next to him. Rolls in and do manage to find a hillside that they can stop at.
This is not bad for the Falcons for now. It just depends on what VP does to their south. The Expendables aren't moving a muscle, and everybody knows it. Toyo is going to go down there. Combination between Na'Vi and AGAL. AGAL on the edge of the new circle, trying to make a maneuver. Yeah, T1 driving right in towards Twisted. They're going to look to try to punish this position that they've taken, but losing the VRDM. So just got to light it up with some bullets. try to get it into that exploded state so they can then deal with it, but they just don't have any extra guns to bear. EN was the only one, everybody else trying to get their vehicles into safety.
That's also made them a target. T1 taking those shots at the BRDM now means the fact that the Expendables are looking back up at them. Just rolling down, Batulin's gonna be being chased by T1 right now. They want this point. They know that they need anything that they can get. Airtime popping off for Batulin's. Isn't he covered to be at? No, Heather gets him, drops him out. So now it just means the BRDM caught up in between two different groups of T1 as they just roll right by.
Yeah, T1's gonna lose a couple players here. It's 17 who's got angles into this little shack that they found. The hay bales aren't gonna do much, and they're gonna lose a couple players. There's nothing, they're done, they're cut apart. I don't think Type can survive much longer.
And Lou comes back in for some vengeance. He's like, fine, I'll take it. I'll use all your vehicles for cover. The way that this circle shift has happened, it's finally left the hillside that's been into the west now. There is near on nobody inside this circle. It is wide open, clear. 34 people alive, and really only Lou comfortably inside this circle, and 17 down to the south in it.
Yeah, there's some mortars. I believe that's maybe T5 that's shooting those. My eyes don't deceive me on that angle. Yeah, T5 definitely revealing their presence. Sold still in position to maybe backstab 17, who looking like they had a good position in this next circle to do some damage to some teams. I mean, here comes T5. They're going to be slamming in.
So many fights. Navi up into the north, pushing into T at the rough same time that T5 is going to be rolling right in next to 17 Gaming. Navi needs to pick up some more points. They're tied up with Twisted right now, but still not quite up in that first place position. TE, though, is just entrenched in. Finally, a couple of angles open up. Can they get some more Expendables? Calori's down below everything. Trying to see if he can drop some nades underneath. Sneaky little angle for him, but he isn't getting the knocks he wants. Instead, it's going to be Ferris that gets the better of that trade.
Oh, but then two grenades came in from the Expendables that got two big knocks, and there you go. The Expendables hold the line, and they're gonna lose Delwyn. Looking for the res on the Clories. I think it's safe. Just depends on what other teams are doing. Meanwhile, Tiggleton, H-Win, getting it done with some util.
Gotta find some kills now. You can't let the rest of this slip away. It is messy, messy everywhere as Falcons continuing to try to run in. Nixie clinging to life. He's had himself one hell of an ECW, but this is a ton of Falcons chasing after him. Beanie, you're gonna use the hillside back behind this. He's still alive. Can he get an open angle to provide some support? Can he get anything out to help Nixie in this position? No, Tiggleton reads it.
Oh, Tiggleton has to get his feet moving. He had a grenade right close to him. He's able to dodge it for now. Meanwhile, 17 having some trouble dealing with T5 cleanly. Looks like they're hemorrhaging players a little bit. Trimsy, good for the angle, good on the Nixie. And the Falcons continue their march forward.
New contender is going to be changed game in front of him. Beamy tries to run into a compound, but he gets spotted out. Expendables moving at roughly the same time. Changed game now, focuses back into Falcons. There's nowhere to go. Nades landing all around them, just trying to run right in front of the blue zone. Tickleton's already down. It's a ton of damage onto the Falcons. Changed the game, doing a great job on holding the line. Wimbo picking up a ton. Kickstart, the only one that's managed to make it into the safe zone, but it does not feel good.
No, he had to stop in the smokes, but going any further forward, he'll be tricky unless they don't realize where he's at. He has an opportunity, makes the most of it. 24 HP left.
Gotta be careful. Downtown's just on the other side of this. The Expendables know this firefight's going on. They want a piece of it. They want to get control over the western sector of this circle. Downtown does find out kickstart, so that's gonna be the Falcons now out. Change the game, trying to get more. Mortars also starting to rain down right on top of 17, but still managing to stay alive.
Oh man, they have been under fire from those artillery barrages for quite some time, and they still are. Here goes Gen.G making their move now right towards Lou. I think is just sitting inside of this BRDM. Not sure how he survived that, but
knock, knock.
Oh, there's a molly there, and Orca walked right into it.
Oh no! Lou is buying more and more. He jumps out. Twisted Minds gets eliminated. Flame still alive over here. Got Beam coming in for reinforcements. We still also have T5 that's trying to creep in down to the southeast and up into the north. We still have Moss alive.
This is crazy though. Some room now for teams like 17, Gen.G to make some big moves. The Expendables as well. Very much, I mean, even T5 for God's sake. It's 54 points to 70. It's 16 points from 12th to 1st. Anything is possible.
What you got, you have an opportunity. Everybody in the side of this lobby needs to make it happen. 17 Gaming trying to use this trench the best that they can. They're getting a ton of information. They roughly know where everybody is inside the circle. Change the game's Tian. Still alive. Could backstab into the Expendables right now, as the Expendables are the strongest team with just 3.
Well, the Expendables could get some big points. Xiao Wu doing a bunch of damage there on Rossiter Jr., letting loose with the frags now to see if he can finish what he started. But the first one going to go a little bit too far. Second as well. Yeah, they're aiming for that vehicle, but Rossiter had moved to the rock. So 17, they're not able to correctly judge their distance.
This is under pressure, so many different angles. The 7-7 does go down, but really T5 can't chase after it. It's just crossfires. This is so open. Anywhere you go to look at is just going to get instantly punished. Just footpaths providing some cover and some dips, and that's really not a lot to work with. It's the Expendables, I think, are starting to get aware that they still have Tian behind them. Remember, they know off the kill feeds, but 17 still holding to life right now. A lot of smoke's coming down for T5. They want to move forward. They want to get this dip. Xiao Wu, can you defend up? He's got the nades ready. He wants to try to finish this fast so he can go for the res. He knows he's in trouble. Does connect. That could slow down T5 enough for him to get 7-7.
How does he get the read on that position? Rossiter Jr. has to be going, man, how do you just throw a perfect nade right in the heat of the moment there? But Xiao Wu, one of the best you have in the world, especially when he's under pressure. The guy just is so calm, so cool, and he's getting shot by Gen.G. Has to use the triangles there, give himself a little bit of protection. Has plenty of first aids in the backpack though, but he's out of util, has to get it all done with the guns. And Rossiter Jr. will very much be res there. That is going to be Tian going down. Bean finds a knock onto the Expendables. They're outside of this new circle looking in. Gen.G has an opportunity here, maybe do some serious damage.
The Expendables have now touched 60 points. Gen.G 17 tied up 65. Placement points going to continue to push this apart as we are now in our top 4. The Expendables want to get inside the circle. T5 as well, but it's going to be Gen.G's angles. So hard to deal with for the time being.
God.
Oh, T5. Are you gonna do it to 17 like this? Path and Pong, are you gonna take it for the team? Are you gonna ride it all the way in? Or are you just gonna try to push it over? Does slide it in. Xiao Wu's gotta be careful. Runs around, realizing the threat. Does get knocked. Path and Pong only gets 1 though.
That's big. That's big. That should open the door here for them. They're going to have to make a push. Pat and Pong just smiling a little bit there after the C4 explosion. They got to make something out of this. They can't really give them the time for this res. They're trying to figure out exactly where it was, trying to follow the car. Finally get spotted, but now they're taking damage from across the way. Gen.G playing a little bit of safety here for 17.
That is also massive. Gen.G looked down at what was happening with T5. That gave Expendables a little bit of a reprieve. They hopped in vehicles. They rotated over on foot very quickly into this firefight. They know if they want to challenge the top of this leaderboard, they need to get kills. So then instead, they're going to come chasing down in the southern section where more of the teams are going to be playing from.
Love this from the Expendables, reading this kill feed really nicely there. Know there was a knock onto 17. Start making your way in that direction, anticipating that T5 is going to have to make a push, potentially trying to cut that off. But now things just kind of take a bit of a breather. Everybody's found some level of safety, and now we just potentially wait for the next circle.
Team that has the most cover right now is Gen.G, not due to their shack, but because there's so many exploded vehicles around it. So they get a bit more cover to work around inside this circle. We're still in phase number 7, paper, so we could see a couple of shifts come into play here, or at least one. So T5 lined up, 17 looking down into T5, T5 looking at the Expendables just trying to look any direction, and Gen.G just focused into the south.
Just a little bit of a breather here. One of the interesting things for Gen.G is those 6 frag grenades still in their bag for the end game. Could be a difference maker. You never know with that. Also 5 stuns. Meanwhile, the Expendables, I would expect that they're going to run through most of their frags here in this fight, depending on how it all shakes out with T5 and 17, but they would love to just claim all of this. The real issue is that Gen.G has free reign over anything that comes up and over these hills.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that dip that 17 is playing, you can see it kind of drops down into that defilade. T5 and TE, if they want to try to assault that position, they're instantly revealed to Gen.G, who is holding just a bit further away. So everything's locked down. We could see a couple of counter moves. If somebody could be enough of a distraction for Gen.G, that's when you've got to make your move. You have to jump, pounce whatever you can get as fast as possible as T5 starts dropping down the bellies. They're creeping a bit more into the west. They might have decided that they're going to instead assault the TE position, knowing the fact that TE has to make a bit of a push this direction. They know that TE doesn't want to push up to the north. Instead, T5 could cut them out, deny out the pathing, but look, beautifully read by Duck Juice.
Yeah, he's got a sense that maybe T5 isn't going to be able to push up and over that hill, so they're going to have to come his way anyway. Better safe than sorry, but the blue is oh so close. They're starting to tickle the T5 players, and I'm a bit worried that they're going to get exposed to 17.
They've got an angle with 17, but they play it perfectly. Doritos kind of blocking out Tandu, does flood it. Rosnit goes down near instantly. Are we going to see 17 try to pounce under this? No, instead it's Gen.G. They leave their cover. They're pushing out, thinking maybe they can get some more. They're spotting out this firefight. They were expecting pounce on it. They want to assault the Expendables location, realizing multiple members up, but they don't find what they're looking for and instantly retreat.
Yeah, they went for a timing there to see if they could catch the Expendables, do some damage to them. Didn't quite work out. There is a knock there from Duck Juice. What phenomenal flank hold from him. Doing a great job here, keeping everything in check on this southern side.
Expendables at 10 kills right now with the potential for a ton more. Now at 62, just 8 points out of the top. Tons of points still to be had. Duck Juice, the guy that's got to hold back 17, while the other two members looking in after Gen.G, and that's going to be a big pickup. Flame has been on absolute fire. He gets dropped out. Now Gen.G's Bean has to figure out how he wants to handle this. All momentum switched over right into the Expendables' favor.
Yeah, all it relies on here is just Duck Juice winning that fight against 17. And then it should be the Expendables game, but he's stuck behind the rock. He doesn't have much he can do. Still might have some juice in that blue zone bag. Doesn't matter. He's taking damage from Gen.G. Can't get there in time to do anything to 17. All right, the equation changes a little bit.
This bit of cover that the Expendables have does keep them in position just a bit longer than Bean. Remember, this blue zone is going to chunk. Everybody being forced in. This tree putting in a ton of work for the Expendables right now. Does look like 17 is eyeing more into Bean's position instead of focusing on TE. So Bean's trying to defend that angle. It's going to take a lot of damage onto him. Down to 1 HP. Blue zone on top of him. Near on no cover, but does manage to find some safety. Time move. Does get the knock. Bean is now out. 7-7 down. There's nowhere to go. 17 realizes the threat. They run out. They go down. And it is going to be the Expendables that take an absolutely explosive round.
Your 2024 PGC champions have shown up here in the grand finals of EWC. Oh my goodness, they have.
That's not a smiling Duck Juice. There we go, we finally get it. That was just a, finally we got it.
Oh dude, it was very dicey there. What a maneuver there to find that timing. As soon as there were some knocks on that southern edge of the circle, the Expendables are like, oh, yo, we need to go there now because there's nothing else to play in this circle. If we try to crash Gen.G, we'll probably lose more players. Instead, we could just use this little hill to gatekeep those other couple teams. Really well thought out.
We didn't get less teams cut out of the hunt for the top. We got more teams added. This is just staying neck and neck for everybody. This is absolutely nuts. We still have 2 games on Erangel to look